Hi guys, I'm here with my collection of helmets, and this relatively new helmet needs a helmet mirror. As you can see, I have on all my other helmets. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk to you about why I use helmet mirrors, and at the same time show you how I'm going to mount my mirror on this new helmet. Here is my collection of current helmets, and there are links below to where you can purchase all these helmets. This is my favorite. It's a modular full face. I've been using this for well over a year. I've actually been thinking about getting another one, a red one. I like it that much. It's a Scorpion brand. This was my previous Scorpion helmet. I still think this is the coolest looking helmet, but it's not a true full face helmet, and it's certainly not a modular helmet. So this is like a hard rubber piece. I still think actually this provides us good protection at the speeds that we ride. Maybe not for a motorcycle, but you know, in the 20 mile per hour range, if you're going to hit the ground, I still think this is going to protect your mouth. But it's not nearly as convenient as this modular helmet that I can flip up out of the way instantly to talk to people, to get a drink. This helmet was an experiment. It's a half helmet, LS2. I just ultimately just don't like it that much because it's too exposed, and I was hoping it would provide, it has a drop-down visor. I was hoping it would provide some good protection against my eyes, against the wind, but it really doesn't. And this is my old standby, my original helmet. It's a ProTech skateboard helmet. I have a lot of memories created with this helmet, and with my trademark neck piece in the back. And the reason I wore this, and I think I might add that to these helmets, is I live in sunny Southern California, where it's sunny an awful lot of the time, and I just don't want my neck to turn into leather. And you can see these all have mirrors. And I just think mirrors are essential for riding on an EUC. And yes, you can turn your head to look behind you, or you can put a mirror on your wrist, which I do sometimes. But when it's on your wrist, you have to actively pick up your hand to look around, which you ultimately just don't do that much. With a helmet mirror, with your eyes, you just can glance up at that mirror and instantly get situational awareness. You can see cars approaching from the back, or bicyclists which might be overtaking you. So I love the helmet mirror. So let me show you closer view of how I mount these. Here you can see this mirror, which is this bicycle mirror, and I'll show you more about this later, but I've been using this for years and highly recommend them. It's got a metal arm here which you can bend, form to get it positioned, the mirror positioned in the proper space in front of your eyes. Now I mount these with epoxy. They come with Velcro, and they're meant to be mounted inside of a bicycle helmet, which doesn't work for our helmets. But I do use the Velcro to initially position the mirror in the helmet. I go for rides, and once I feel confident that yes, for this helmet the mirror position is good, then I'll epoxy it into that position. And if your mirror breaks because of a crash, you can always just buy a new one, and they all have interchangeable parts, so you can buy a new one and put the arm onto your existing mount. So there really is no issue epoxying this part, the base plate, to your helmet. Here's my ONeill helmet, my most recent acquisition, and I've been procrastinating getting a mirror mounted. So again, here's the mirror. These are meant for, they're sold for bicyclists. They have a Velcro here that is supposed to be mounted inside the helmet, which doesn't work for our case. I'll be removing that. Now I'm going to install this like so. And what's great about these is they're fully adjustable. So I can rotate that something like this. It'll be all refined later. So this can be totally adjusted. Over here, there's all kinds of adjustments. So it's really great for getting it perfectly positioned. Now, if you don't use this mirror, which again I highly recommend, just whatever mirror you get, make sure you get one like this. It has a slightly convex mirror, because a lot of these have flat mirrors and their visibility is much reduced with a flat mirror. You have to end up rotating your head around a lot to get full coverage behind you. But with slightly convex like this, just one glance and you have pretty good visibility all around you. So I'm going to mount this about like so, and then from then I'll start fine-tuning it, which could include bending this piece a little bit to get it positioned just so. Let me get some Velcro on this right now. Now I do want to point out one problem with these mirrors, and I've seen this is on this mirror and other versions of the same. You can see a lot of variety of these mirrors out there, and they all use the same common parts, but the mirror is maybe a little bit different, or the color or styling. But they all seem to have this poor quality. You can see how this isn't even mounted. It's really poorly mounted, and it just wants to pop right off. And trust me, it will pop off. So what I've done on all my mirrors is I just put some hot glue in here and put it back down, and it never falls off. If you don't do that, trust me, the mirror, after some temperature variations, it'll just pop right off. Okay, here we're gonna hot glue. I'd recommend not removing this piece of safety plastic on top of the mirror until you've got it mounted. And I'm just gonna put some liberal amounts of hot glue in here. And that's it. From my experience, it will not go anywhere now. Okay, I'm using this 3M dual lock, and it just has some reused pieces that I'm going to make use of for this temporary installation. So I put the two pieces here, mounted them. I'm just going to press it on here nice securely, and you hear it snap. That's the dual lock taking hold, and it's nice and solid. Now previously I've used regular Velcro, which doesn't really hold that well, and it vibrates more. I've never actually used a dual lock. This will be the first time. So I'll see. Maybe this will. Maybe I won't use epoxy if I don't need to. If this really holds on good. Again, generally, unless you crash, these don't take much abuse. But you do find yourself adjusting the position of the mirror periodically, so that does put stress on this. So if it doesn't hold, I will come back and use epoxy. Okay, let's see how this looks, fits. Looks really good, just about perfect. everyone is different. You just have to tweak this to how you obviously like it for you, but you know, you can potentially bend this a little bit. I don't like it too much in my direct field of view, and of course then you're just looking at yourself. You need it off to the side so you can kind of see to the side and the back of you. So a slight turn of my head and I can see everything behind me. So this works great. Might not have to make any major adjustments. Let me show you one other variation of this mirror mount. Here is my older Scorpion helmet, and again my oldest helmet. Now these have the same basic mechanics of this mirror I've been showing you, but these older ones had the flat mirror, and like I said, once I discovered the slightly convex mirrors, that's the way to go, because these have much less visibility. But I didn't want to buy a whole new unit just to change out the mirror, just to save myself some money. So what I did is I went out and bought, now I'm in the United States, and if you're near Harbor Freight, you can get these for literally $2, and they work great. This is actually what's on, I put these on my wrist guards too, some of them, with Velcro. So I have a couple of these around. So what I did on this Scorpion helmet is I put Velcro on the mirror, and then I took one of my existing mirrors and put it on here, and it actually works great. Now it's more convex than those more convex than these mirrors, which is less than ideal, but in a way you get even more visibility with these. So in this particular case, these are meant to go in your car. They swivel, but they pop off. You can just break this part off, put Velcro on, or hot glue, whatever means you want, and just stick it on your existing mirror if you happen to have some flat mirrors like I do. And it works great. I've been using it, doing some rides with this, and the visibility is much better than it was with the flat mirror. Though it would be better if it wasn't quite so convex. All right, guys. Well, I hope I've given you something to think about using helmet mirrors. I've gotten some positive feedback and negative feedback over the years with people who have seen these. Some people think they look dorky. I can't really address that. But other people say, well, I can't see anything in these mirrors. They're too small. But you really have to realize that this is all about situational awareness. It's not about knowing whether there is a Ford or Chevy approaching from the back, or whether you can read the street sign behind you. You can't. It's really about knowing whether there is a car or a truck coming up behind you that's not giving you wide berth. In those situations, I'll hug the shoulder more, or if it's really looking bad, which you can easily tell, I'll get off the road. Better safe than sorry. Another place this really comes in handy is on the sidewalk. I ride a lot on the sidewalks in town, and it's happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to most of you guys. You're riding and a car will pass you by and cut you off. They make a right turn into a store or onto a cross street that you're approaching. Most of the time I assume they just don't see you, or they think you're going slower than you are. Well, here I'm riding and I can just quickly glance in the mirror, and if I see a car in that lane, then I'm extra cautious and I don't even look for a turn signal. I'm just I know there's a car there and there's a chance that they're going to be cutting me off, so I'm on guard. If there's no cars in that lane, which I can easily see, then I just continue on and blow through that intersection, and I'm safe. It's all about situational awareness, and I really encourage you to give this a try. Use the Velcro. If nothing else, if you think, man, I just look too dorky, rip it off. But I think you'll find these are very useful. Everyone that I've seen using helmet mirrors, they continue to use the helmet mirrors. So you might want to think about that if you're not a user, and there might be something to these after all. All right. Hope you found this useful, and stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys later.